Alright, let us continue with the next chapters of Berserk. So last time on Berserk, we end off with Precious Thing. Griffith gave us his really good monologue, and also giving us a perspective of like how he feels, how he sees about like friendship and other people, and how, you know, how most of them are pretty much beneath him, actually. And really good stuff, especially with Casca and Guts listening on it, so they can also learn and feel like their position on all of this. So let us move on from there, shall we? So the next chapter is called Departure for the Front. The Midland royal family crest, a family bearing a crown seated in the midst of the heavens, the legendary Tower of Triumph. Incredible. So many of them. They say this new campaign could mean an end to the war. Now, if only that comes true. Don't worry, Midland has its own guardian angel, you know. Speak of the devil, that is kind of funny how they refer to Griffith as the guardian angel, and then when speak of the devil, he arrives. Like, I love that. I love that there's this two distinct, I guess, perspective on Griffith. You know, on one hand, he is like an angel, like a guardian angel who protects the land and such, but on the other hand, deep down, he's actually a devil. Well, soon to be devil. Are you departing? If it isn't Minister Foss, it's the dude. I have heard the Band of the Hawk is this campaign's vanguard. With General Julius dead, Midland has no other guardian deity but you. May fortune smile. Guardian deity. An exaggeration. However, your humble servant will do all within his power. Even so about this series of assassinations. It is all but unbearable. It is said that in troubled times, spirit misled human hearts, but a child of only 13 like Master Adonis. How very cruel. Surely it is the work of a demon. No, it is no demon. It is the work of man, Minister. Man is a demon. We are devils in disguise, all of us, is essentially what Griffith is trying to say. Or at least there's a monster in all of us. It isn't dead until he, Sir Griffith. I have caught wind of a strange rumor regarding these assassinations. Strange rumor? The arrow aimed at Princess Charlotte at the autumn hunt. That it was actually not meant for her, but instead it may have been fired at you, Sir Griffith. At me? Griffith is playing along. I mean, obviously he knows. Impossible. A mere knight commander. You humble yourself. The exploits of the Band of the Hawk you lead are widely proclaimed in many lands. Also, according to said rumor, the assassin who attacked you may not have been a Chutter spy at all, but a subordinate of someone within this very court. I love this conversation because it's like as if a part of me do feel like Griffith knows that Foss has something to do with it, but like Foss is like, oh, I'm innocent, you know, like my hands are clean, you know, I have no idea about this, but I heard rumors coming from myself because I was the one who did it, but I heard rumors about this assassination plot about at you know what I mean? The political machinations, if you will. That is an audacious insinuation. I would say so. Under a thin veneer? those of the court can be likened to a den of evil spirits. It is not far-fetched that any number of them would be above the murder of another for the sake of maintaining their influence. In case you don't know, in case you haven't realized yet, the audience, yes, that's you. Commander Fox is pretty much explaining his motivations. But surely, from their point of view, does one kill outside the castle as you do? Or inside the castle? I suppose that is the only difference. An interesting theory. That being said, I will strive to my utmost outside the castle. Your pardon. He's doing the thing where he's closing his eyes and opening one again. He didn't so much as twitch an eyebrow at the mention of Master Adonis. Could this mean that it wasn't his doing at all? No, that can't be true. It would be too much of a coincidence. There can be no mistake that the assassination of Julius and his son was Griffith's retaliation. Somehow, he must have gotten wind that the incident at the autumn hunt was at the hands of General Julius. Could he even know of me? Oh no, it could never come to that. I didn't intervene directly in the matter anyway. Most importantly, there's no evidence. Even so, he's a crafty one. Well enough. If by this campaign a long sought after peace visits this kingdom, it will settle this affair. There will be many others within the castle jealous of his popularity with the people, as long as I set them against him. So the only good hero is a dead hero. Is that supposed to be guts? Or it could be Griffith just listening in. I mean, at this point, I have no doubt in my mind that Griffith knows that Foss has something to do with this. Like, come on, like, Griffith is a very cunning man. Like, Griffith talking to Foss in the previous pages could also very much be Griffith just proning in on him, right? Just to see if his intuition was correct and, like, how Foss, chooses his words and whatnot. Like, I would not be surprised. So, who is the mystery figure at the end here? Griffith. Oh, these reactions from both Griffith and Foss, man. Like, Griffith is like, I know what you did. You're next. And Foss is like, oh shit. Oh. Meanwhile, let us cut to Casca. Walking in on the palace floor. Griffith! Lord Griffith! Oh, Charlotte eyeing with Griffith in the final panel here. Princess Charlotte. Casca holding off. Are you departing already? Yes, I am on my way. Take this. What is it? It is a necklace made from lodestone? A naturally occurring magnet. Okay. It is not very valuable, but it is a memento of the former queens, of my mother's. But an item of such importance. No, please, have it. With the lodestone, the man half and woman half are attracted to one another. It is said that the two who possess each half are destined to meet again. Ew, very lovey-dovey. I hate that I know what Griffith's gonna do to her. Well, we'll talk about that later. Like that's like still a ways off, but if you were to carry that necklace made from the man's stone, surely this necklace of the woman's stone should draw it back and see you safely home from the battlefield. Interesting. I always kind of thought it. I thought it should be the other way around though. Like, Charlotte should be holding the man's stone and then Griffith should be holding the woman's stone, as to signify that Charlotte is holding Griffith and Griffith is holding Charlotte. But I guess this makes sense. So please accept it. No. 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 There is no way I can keep such an important keepsake of your highnesses. But, therefore, once I return from this campaign, I swear I will give this back to you. Oh! Casca's like... I have never dreaded battle as much as I do this time. Lord Griffith, please, please, be safe. You there, knight. Yes, yes, Highness. Please, protect Lord Griffith. Yes, Your Highness. Even with my own life. I do love Casca's like expression here. When Charlotte was talking about like you there, knight, and Casca's like me? Yes, me. I wasn't prying on you. Let's go. Yeah. Well, hello, you are a... Charlotte. Mother, what do you think you are doing, Charlotte? Something tells me she is not a good person. Something about the design does not scream like this is a really good mother. Wait a minute, let me go back for a bit. Interesting. So this is the second queen then, right? If the necklace is a memento of the former queen. It would make sense though, if she is like the stepmother, like the step queen, like yeah, the stereotypical the stepmother is evil and maybe kind of a bitch. I mean, it's even in the design. Like, look at how many pointy edges that the queen has. I'm assuming queen, but look at it. Like from the eyes, the nose, the mouth, even the chin, the eyebrows. Like really sharp edges. Really sharp edges. It's not very inviting. You know, you psychologically you do not feel safe near her. What do you mean? Do not feign ignorance, giving gifts to one such as him. It is my business to whom I give my things. Unacceptable. You are a member of the royal family, yet you give gifts to a man of humble birth? Properly speaking, one of your rank should even hesitate to do so lightly converse with him. But mother, you are 16 now, no longer a child. Well, those were the times. Try remembering that you are the princess of Midland, but... runs away. Dude, this pose, it's like... what do I do with her? Like, come on, that is like the most evil-looking stare that I've ever seen. Move out! Everybody's cheering as the vanguard, as the band of the hawk moves out. Ooh, yeah, really good stuff, really good stuff. Like all of the farmers and everybody who's working in the field. Even these two people right here. One of them losing a leg, right? Mother and daughter, I assume. Bring peace to the land and whatnot. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Ah, here we go. Thinking about that again, what I think a friend is one who is my equal. And they are in opposite sides. Obviously, Griffith is leading the charge. Griffith is the one in front. Guts is the one who is just right behind him. But it also shows like the power dynamic between the two, that how both of these people, both of these characters are not one in the same level. Or at least Griffith does not see Guts as one of the same level. And even in the next panel, the second panel, where we are seeing them both, and it's like the cliche almost, like it is a cliche, right? Where you see the two characters just like cross-facing each other, not looking back at each other. I mean, not really looking back. No, those are not the words that I was looking for. They are back to back on each other, right? But they're looking on the opposite sides. And then Guts putting down the helmet protection gear, like. Alright, gonna take a little bit of a break, and we shall continue on with the next chapters of Berserk. Alright, continuing on, as the Band of the Hawk and the rest of the army march forth. Or is that the enemy forces? I feel like these are the enemy forces, right? Because they're being shown in like silhouette and the lightning in the back. Yeah, enemy forces. Engagement. Oh, that is interesting. Now that I'm looking at like the armor for, I guess, the opposing forces, right? Because if you look at like the if you look at their emblem, if you will, on their flag, it's like a whale, right? And then you look at how their helmets are modeled or designed, it kind of resembles or mimic that of the whale, right? And these are the, like the mouth of the whale and such. That is really good design. I really love that. That's great. Kind of a counter to Griffith and the Band of the Hawk, which is more bird theme, right? At a time like this. Ah. Oh, that's why she was feeling a bit down in the previous chapter. Oh. I see. She's okay. Okay, that tracks. You know, this is something. Was this in the anime adaptations? I don't remember. I do remember that eventually Guts and Griffith will. Guts and Griffith. Guts and Casca will have like their. Like their own time, if you will. In the forest as they run away from like a battle. I think it's gonna be this battle, but I don't remember Casca having this problem, if you will. It's interesting, and it's also one thing that I do want to praise, because I have never seen this before, at least in terms of like in anime or in manga, where they are focusing on the fact that one of their female characters is having a period. Interesting. At least that is what I am assuming. I mean, what else could it mean? At a time like this, what's wrong? You look pale. No, nothing. Come on, let's do this. Oh, that is sweet. That's great. Love these formations. The arrow formation. Charging in. That's cool. Man, sometimes I do want to rewatch the Golden Age arc movies after this, because like I don't remember that much. I remember some moments looking really, really good, but obviously like some of the CGI can be distracting. It's not bad. It's not like super bad, like the clips that I saw of like the 2016 version, but like it's admirable to say the least. At least, especially from like the time that it was released. But looking at all of this, like looking at like these battle formations and battle charges and these like front lines hitting with each other, like I kind of want to rewatch the Golden Age arc movies again just to see like how they handle all of this, because like these are really hard scenes, if you will, to capture and to animate, unless you have a really high budget, you know what I mean? And if we know about the anime industry, then usually high budget isn't really a thing. It's like they're working with what they got, right? Seeing all of our buddies just crushing it. Casca fending off. Guts as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So you are her, the only woman who commands 1,000 of the band of the Hawk. I can't stomach it. A woman playing at being a knight? Women are inferior to men in strength. What use could they be in battle? No, you might have a use as a nighttime plaything for your fellow soldiers. This piece of shit, you gonna die. He's a big hunk of armor and metal. Perfect for Guts to kill. Like, at this point, I would say he is the stereotypical big bad guy in Berserk. Like, that's always been the case. You know what I mean? Like, that's always been the case. Like, somebody approaches our main characters, it's always going to be a big dude with huge muscles and tons of armor, and they're going to be like, oh, puny human. What are you? Fight me. Come on. Me, big dumb. Fight. And then they just got, like, cut in half immediately, like by Guts 2 seconds later. What was that? Perhaps you even achieved your rank of commander by sneaking into that man Griffith's bedroom. She's angry, but obviously that kind of tips her off balance. She falls. Interesting shot of her butt. Miura, what are you up to? Whew. Almost. This guy's strong. The battlefield is the sacred ground of men. Adon, head of the Blue Whale Ultra Heavy Armored. What are these names? Head of the Blue Whale Ultra Heavy Armored Pierce Assault Annihilation Night Corps. Shorten that a bit, maybe? Shall teach you the folly of your fruit. you know, the thought about, like, this person in the middle, in the midst of battle, having to monologue, or at least to express his, like, position, who they are, towards, like, one of his adversary, and they have to recite that, like, perfectly, like, I am the head of the Blue Whale Ultra Heavy Armored Fierce Assault Annihilation Night Corps. It is ridiculous. Shall teach you the folly of your frivolity in setting foot upon it. I can't. I've got no strength. Big sis, Commander Casca. Damn you. Fools, keep back. And they're all dead. You know, maybe Adon, I don't know about you, buddy, but I don't know, man. You're fighting a inferior person, as you said it, and yet they're holding on their own pretty fine, and then you fight like 4 other men and they died. I don't know, man. Maybe show a bit of respect. Respect a woman, man. Respect my girl. If you let yourself be led by a woman, you're weak. She's still standing, man. Like, can you not see? Can you not see? I mean, I guess he's just trying to, you know, he's trying to play her down, right? Like you're nothing, you know. But typical. He's a very typical, stereotypical, I would say, villain so far. You know, like, oh, there's always gonna have to be like a big bad guy who's like really like a piece of shit, and then so when the main characters come in and swoop in and kill them, it's going to be like very satisfying. So I am waiting for him to die, because that would be very satisfying. What's wrong? Nowhere left to run? Go on. Go on. Oh, you adorn yourself like a man, but you're quite the gem, aren't you? I'll offer you a chance. If you come quietly as my prisoner, you can leave this place alive. But what I mean by prisoner is you'd be my army's heart. Man, this dude is not mincing words. He's like straight to the point. Hey, be a slave and be a whore at the same time. Like, Jesus. Also, big mistake. You didn't kill her immediately. Like, this also goes to show like his own personal weakness. Like, yeah, you hate her for being a woman, but you also don't want to kill her because she's a woman, because you see her as your plaything. And I'm like, oh, that's like your own undoing, man. Like that is your downfall. Like, go to hell, dog. Yeah, tell him, then you can die. Well, there you go. There you go. Guts coming in anytime soon? Anytime now? Anytime. I do also want to say that I do love the expressions that Casca is giving out in these panels. Like, especially here when she's saying go to hell, dog. Like, on one hand, yes, you can definitely feel her anger and her like absolute disgust about this person who just pretty much said in, you know, flat out to her face that he sees her as nothing but a plaything. But at the same time, this happening when and while she's having her period, like you can also see that pain in her right now, and this also goes to show like we're kind of tackling a bit about like, you know, like this is a men's world, if you will. This is the world of war, you know, like this is no place for a woman and all that stuff. And then you're seeing Casca holding on for her damn best, you know, to be in this place because she earned her place here. And then you're seeing the challenges, I would say, of her being a woman. It's quite an interesting take, that's for sure. Like, I'm not gonna say more until we read further in. So, it's about to swing. I'm waiting for a wild Guts to appear. There he is. This ain't like you. This ain't like her at all. I wonder, does Guts know about all of this? I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure most people know about this, right? It's just that they don't know that Casca is having it right now. Guts, Raiders, Captain Guts. And yep. Why am I saluting you? Fuck you, add-on. Come on. Anyone will do. I just feel like swinging this with all my might until I can't think about anything else. engagement in. Oh. Casca. Chapter 1. So we're getting very interesting, very interesting. All right, this is exciting. We're essentially getting a Casca centric mini arc, right? I mean, this has been a very Casca centric set of chapters. Let us continue. Casca chapter 1. I do want to say that this image of Casca, I would say taking off the armor and not putting it in, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she is putting it in, or I'm not sure if she is trying to adorn the armor or she's trying to take it off, but I would assume that she's trying to take it off, as to symbolize her taking off the masculinity that she extrudes on the outside to showcase the femininity, the femininity that she has on the inside, which is her true self, right? There's the true self that she has on the inside that she is hiding because she doesn't want to show it. That's like the assumption and the thought that I have, right? Because she is, as they say, in a man's world, especially at war, right? She would want to look as masculine as possible because she wants to be not just feared, but also respected by her peers. That's kind of like what I'm getting at here. So her taking it off, and I do remember her and Guts will have this sort of close, moment. It is to not only show her fragility, but it is also to show her it is both her fragility, her fragile self, because again, like taking off the armor, like fully unprotected, right? But at the same time, it is also it also shows her courage and her trust at other people, right? As in, they're not going to hurt me. All right. Let us continue. Now, boy, you stop my attack well, but lightning doesn't strike twice. Yes, it does. Can you stop this? The ultimate spear technique, which can crush even marble, pass secretly down through my what? Cobblerwits. Pass secretly down through my Cobblerwits family for 140 years. Dude thinks he's the main character, bro. He thinks he's the main character. He's like, dude, I have the super secret technique that has been passed down from generation to generation. Secret family attack. Bro, I feel sorry for you, dude. Good old Berserk. Ganzan Senpu. So what? Awesome! He took that monster down with just 2 swings. That's our captain. Watch him go. What's wrong? This isn't how you usually are, Casca. You're fighting horrible. You'll wind up dead if you're out of it. She faints. This dude, how is he still alive and he has a crossbow? Well, shit. Yo! Okay, 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 okay. I don't. Okay, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. This, knowing what happens much later on in the manga and looking at this, there are like something that will happen in the future will be will be a callback to this, and I never really thought about that. Don't remember if that's just because of how the Golden Age adaptations were, but that's cool. That is cool. Guts tries to catch Casca, grabs her, Adon shoots, hits Guts instead, which is better than hitting Casca. I guess. I mean, Guts has main character plot armor, but still. Of course, of course. Falls down to the river. Everybody's fine if they fall down the river. You know, like that's like rule number one in fake deaths. If they fall to a body of water, surely they'll be fine, even though chances are they go splat and block. But you know. The battle continues. And their battle also continues. A battle of survival. I'm never doing that again, swimming with my armor on. Ugh. I love that. I love that. In most cases, you'll see people just swimming around in full plated armor and they're like completely fine. I'm like, no, that's like very heavy. Like, no, that's not how it works. I'm kind of glad that Guts is pretty much saying that. Like, yeah, no shit. It's terrible. That is sweet. First time they technically kissed. Right. Damn it, that whale bastard. He's fish bait next time I see him. Still, we're lucky to be alive, falling from up there. Hard to believe. What now? Ain't no way we can scale that cliff. How can we get back? It's cold. High fever. Must be why she fainted. This is bad. If she stays in the rain like this. Yeah. I do remember this. My memory is correct on this. Yeah, they're gonna go into a cave. They're gonna have some sweet talk in there, and then, if I remember correctly, they're gonna be ambushed by more people, and then I don't remember what happens next. But pretty much they got out alive, if memory serves me right. Love the rain though that is currently happening across this moment. Getting that somber tone. Guts and Casca. It was quite high. It was quite a high cliff. But there was a river beneath, so surely this is him we're talking about. I don't think it's anything life-threatening at least. But whether he'd land safely or not from that height, he'd been wounded, and something wrong with Casca. If we send out a search party, we should hurry. So Griffith, you do understand. In war, conquering the enemy is most important. To spare valuable troops from those granted by the king to confirm the life or death of at best a mere unit commander would be outrageous. Furthermore, he brought this upon himself in engaging in personal combat. No. That wasn't... Besides, the Band of the Hawk's highly touted Raiders captain and female commander are together, are they not? They ought to be able to surmount such a dilemma with base. Base? Ease. Why did I read that as base? The internet has ruined me. They ought to be able to surmount such a dilemma with ease. Certainly. If they're alive. Now what do I do? What to do? Some of the enemy saw us fall. If I kindle a fire, it'd be like telling them where we are. And Casca can't leave here for a while yet. And now is the time for Guts to do what Casca did to him all those years ago. Right? This is the flip on. This is the flip. Right? Where before Casca was warming Guts, right? Now it's the opposite. Now Guts has to warm Casca. He has to. I can't help it. There's just no other way. Oh well. That's the way it is. Besides, not exactly the first time with her. What a pain. What the hell is she thinking anyway? Just don't wake up, going into battle with a fever. That's why women don't have any sense. Notices it? Blood? Did the idiot get wounded? No. Guts' reaction here, like... Oh. So that's it. Understanding. Must be rough being a woman. Oh, what a shot. That might be the thumbnail shot right there. Whoa. Interesting. Casca Chapter 2. Whether you come along or not is your decision. You know how to fight already, don't you? But... Yo. Where? A cave by the river? Luckily, falling into the river saved us. River? What the heck, you don't remember a thing? After I had it out with that whale jerk, you lost your footing and fell off the cliff. You're pretty easygoing considering we almost drowned. Hey, stupid, lie down for now. The fever ain't done dropping yet. What could I do? You were soaking wet and freezing to death to boot. What's that look? She's come back to her senses, but... What are you doing that for? It hurt. Here I saved you, and now... Yeah, just froze everything. Okay, the knife may be a bit too much there. We got a lot to work out on. That's for sure. Hello, you finished now? You hysteric bitch. I ain't trying to lord this over you, but I am the one who almost died dragging you out of the river with the armor on. So instead of one word of thanks, you hurl a knife at me. If you weren't a woman, I'd knock your jaw right out of the... Interesting. That is twice now, this time coming from Guts, concerning about Casca's actual, like, gender and how it plays a role. And how a lot of men, at least in this case, Adon and Guts, doesn't want to hurt Casca because she's a woman. I don't think that's what Casca would want, though. Because they're still treating Casca as, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we're not gonna fight you, you know, you're a girl. But Casca's like, probably thinking like, what the fuck, man? Fight me, you know? Like, do you not see me as an equal? Which ties well to what the conversation that Griffith had in the previous part, talking about like friends and equals and whatnot, right? Maybe not in the same sense, but in terms of like the equality is what I'm trying to say. I cannot stomach it. A woman playing at being a knight. Women are inferior to men in strength. What use could they be in battle? Perhaps you even achieve your rank of commander by sneaking into that man Griffith's bedroom, remembering what Adon said. You're always so damn ready to be pissed about something. This is why women ain't cut out to be warriors. I wasn't born a woman because I wanted to be. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Now she's crying. Hey, sorry, not that I really get it. Yeah. Yeah. Son of a, you really are some kind of bitch. Calm your ass down. Don't make me force you. Let go. Hey, I told you. Here, put this on. I was wearing it, so it's dry already. Sniff, sniff. What? You still crying? Oh, shut up! Look away! It's pathetic. You're the only one I didn't want to be saved by. She really hates me. Shouldn't have saved her. So, speaking of which, why'd you join the Band of the Hawk? Like, I said before, ain't it rough for a woman fighting for a living? I mean, if you don't want to say it, then whatever. Griffith. It's Griffith. My home village was poor and nestled in a mountain ravine. The land was barren and we couldn't really grow much beside oats. Even so, we were bled dry by taxes for the war effort. Having to go 3 days without any food was a common thing. People even starved to death in winter. Because the village was near the border, it was often involved in skirmishes. When that happened, all we could do was hide in the mountains and watch silently as our houses and fields were ravaged. It was just like with any other village. We were all used to being robbed and walked over. I too thought that such a way of life was just natural. One day, a nobleman who happened to pass through the village on a long ride caught sight of me. The nobleman approached my parents saying he wanted me for a castle maid. While my father was reluctant, he accepted the offer. There was no other practical answer. My family had 6 children, and strangely, none of us had starved to death by then. I think it was the natural choice for my father to lose his youngest daughter, who wasn't much of a woman and yet another mouth to feed. Oh, much as a worker, not a woman. I apologize. But Oh, why did why did I not see this coming? Why did I not see this coming? But en route to the castle, it was obvious when you think about it. Yeah, this was his aim from the beginning. There's no nobleman whimsical enough to go out of his way to save a destitute girl he's never even seen before. Destitute. I hate that imagery so fucking much. And Griffith saves the day. How old was Casca during this? It doesn't even matter. Like, she's young. She's very young. I mean, even by the looks of it, she hasn't even fully developed yet. Like, that is just so fucked. I can't help it. It's natural. It's not natural, though. It's not supposed to be natural. Those two ideas were always in my heart to help me stay connected to reality. But just then, cuts off his ear. Does being born of the nobility mean that you're chosen by God? Kind of rich coming from you, Griffith, but you are saving Casca. Like, you know, I gotta give respect to that. So strange. It was as if the image of some saint adoring the wall of my village church had just come to life. It was awe-inspiring, an otherworldly spectacle. I thought God had taken pity on this miserable, powerless girl and sent an angel. That's how it seemed for an instant to me at 12. That's not fair, man. That's not fair. Also, another time that somebody has mentioned Griffith or refers to Griffith as an angel in this read through. You got the castle mates talking about Griffith being a guardian angel protecting us. And now again, Casca. But what that angel extended to me wasn't a fairy tale. Like, helping hand in my time of need. If you have something to protect, take up that sword. Interesting. Griffith gives Casca the opportunity or the option to fend off against herself. Or sorry, to fend off, yeah. To defend herself, essentially. And also the option to, to kill the nobleman. And she accepts it. I mean, who wouldn't, right? In this in this dire situation, it's a matter of life and death, and she does not want this person to be here. Grabs the sword. The person code, yeah. Next panel, I'm just assuming like the sword piercing through him. Yeah. I was afraid. I don't know whether I stabbed him or if he fell on the blade by himself. In any case, I killed someone for the first time. At 12 years old. I was so afraid I couldn't speak or move from that spot. I was never going to let go of the sword with blood dripping from it. He just nodded, deeply and slowly. But that was the real helping hand he extended to me. The fear didn't vanish completely, but the feelings of guilt and regret faded. His magnificence and the warmth of the blanket he gave me filled my heart. Griffith, we're finished over here. Are these people robbers? Ah, wait. What should I do? Do as you wish. Let me come with you. On impulse, those words sprang from my mouth. Hey, don't joke around, girlie. We ain't just some thieves. We're collecting war funds so we can eventually set up an army. How can we fight with women and kids along? I can't go back to my village. If I go back alone and unhurt, the official will never believe that you aided me. He's the same as the nobles. I don't know what I'd use as an excuse when they question me. Besides, it would be a burden on my family. Please, if you tell me to learn the sword, I will. So, whoa, serious? You might die, you know? Nods. Didn't I tell you? Do as you wish. Whether you come along or not is your decision. To know how to fight already. You know how to fight already, don't you? But you were the one who gave me the sword and the blanket. Fascinating. Fascinating. Alright, I'm gonna take a bit of a break and then we'll continue on with the Casca chapters. Alright, Casca chapter 3. And I'll probably end with Casca chapter 3. Yeah, I'm looking at the next couple of chapters, so I'm probably gonna do Casca chapter 3, and then that's gonna be the end of this video. Next video is probably gonna be Prepared for Death. Maybe up to Campfire of Dreams. I don't know. It depends. But the Battle of Doldry will be its own like complete video afterwards. All right. Everything changed that day. How I thought, how I lived, everything. From a life I continually endured to a life of fighting to succeed. The paltry dining table by the fire, with my family around, became a glorious battlefield adjoined by death and blood. Since that day, the day I met Griffith, even now I feel it's been one long dream. Man, it is kind of crazy to see like the difference between Casca's design from when she was young. Like here, you know, like obviously she cut her hair really short, and now in, you know, like in today, you know, in present day, well, her hair is still short, but you can definitely see a much more mature look on her. And yet I am looking at Griffith and I'm like, that dude did not age at all. Like, Griffith did not age at all. Like, he looks exactly the same. Maybe a bit older, but he looks exactly the same. Like, even Guts looks different from the times that we have seen him. Griffith just looks the same, man. Maybe he is immortal. Back then, I idolized Griffith. He was like some prophet or saint. In effect, that's what he was to us. We were a ragtag band of commoners with no backing, even victorious on the battlefield, finding like some miracle. And most importantly, leading us was a young man who could still be called a boy in his innocence. When in reality, he wasn't a noble or knight. but a commoner like the rest of us. A miracle. Yes, in my eyes, that is exactly what Griffith was. After a while, I somehow carved out a life as a soldier. At that time, the Hawks became involved in a certain feudal lord's dispute. He was said to be a man of fame, a wealthy man, intimately involved in sovereign affairs. The worst rumor about him did not involve his assets, rather his sordid tastes. I don't like seeing the children. I think I know what's gonna happen. As attendants, he would employ children from neighboring villages, nearly all boys. All boys who met his taste. I hate reading this. In truth, they were imprisoned within his castle as pleasure slaves. Ugh. Screw him. Screw him. He would be at his side, children with eyes vacant of all but fear. I guess these days that's not such a strange sight. But to be honest, it sent a chill down my spine, yeah. Me too. A heart-rending sense of fear and disgust. I had almost become like that once. Oh, look at Griffith, being by her side, giving her the strength that she needs. What a good guy, this Griffith, he's such a good guy. He's such a good dude. I don't understand the hate, man. He's such a good dude. No. Oh, but just like that time, by putting his hand on my shoulder, just from that, I mysteriously stopped trembling. Afterwards, following several skirmishes, he was a boy who had joined the band of the Hawk half a year before then, to train to be a soldier. He was about 10 years old, and I don't know his name. He didn't really stand out enough to be noticed. There was no one to recognize the remains of this nameless soldier in training among the countless fallen. That is, no one but Griffith. The thing about all of this is, while it's great that Casca... Do I want to say it's great? I don't know, it's not really great. Here's the thing, right? Casca is feeling really defended. She feels protected. She feels safe around Griffith, and for obvious reasons, right? Griffith is there. She's like the knight in shining armor. He is there to always to not just to protect Casca, but also to show support to her, right? But the thing is, maybe it's just how I'm looking at this, but it's also giving me the sense of Casca is very reliant on Griffith here, right? Especially in regards to controlling her own emotions and her own feelings, and most importantly, how she not just values herself, but how much she personally shields herself. Because right now I'm looking as if Casca sees Griffith as her shield, and without the shield, she is defenseless, and that is not a good message, right? The message should be that Casca should be her own shield, and she should be able to protect herself, right? And that is what I believe is what we are trying to work out. That is the thing that we're trying to move on to. That is the development for her character. And not just for her character, but it's also for Guts and many others, to get away from Griffith and be able to handle things on our own. Like to the one of the best development a person or a character can have is the ability or the development for them to finally be their own person, to break away from any shackle that other people may have, whether it is good or bad. You know, like, yeah, some people may be overly reliant on their parents, for example, like a kid who's like, I can't live in this world unless my parents are here, and they are the ones that, you know, provide me with food, with a place to stay, and they're the ones who buy me everything and all that stuff, you know. But you gotta grow eventually, right? And until, you know, and then the next step would be for you to create your own money, to work for yourself, to not fully rely on them, right? And beyond that would be to do the opposite, which is to take care of them because they took care of you, right? In this sense, Griffith is taking care of Casca, but Casca isn't fully taking care of herself. At least that is how I am seeing this, or how some of these are being framed. Because you see here from like in like the previous in the previous pages, right? Now, obviously, not trying to ignore the fact that Griffith did give Casca like the option to, like, you know, to kill this nobleman, and then Casca really did do it, and that is of her own volition. Great, but like in here, for example, you see that Casca, you know, having this feelings of fear and disgust, and very understandably so, but that feeling and that emotion was subdued once Griffith comes in and holds her, like, hey, don't worry. You know what I mean? Like Griffith needs to push Casca before Casca could feel that. And I don't know, a part of me just don't like that, because I just want Casca to be, you know, be able to do that on her own. But I don't know, we shall see. Maybe it's just me. But obviously, you know, the prospect or the idea of Casca and everybody else to just not fully rely on Griffith anymore is something that I absolutely want for like the future of this manga. But knowing what happens later, it's I don't know. Griffith, what's that? This boy's belongings. It was a toy knight, scuffed, dirty, and missing a leg. Griffith? A toy on the battlefield. He must have greatly admired knights. I remember him well. He'd gaze at me as if I were the hero of some story. I wonder if he was happy, dreaming. Did he die enchanted by his dream? Or was death the end of the dream? Was it despair? Maybe my dream is what killed this boy. Interesting lines here, very much interesting lines here, because it ties in with the idea that, you know, with Griffith's dream of conquering the world and the battle and all that stuff, but also his almost consciousness in regards to, yeah, maybe people who are following me died because they are following my dreams, you know, like they kind of sacrifice their lives for me to achieve my dreams. Should I care about them? Do I care about them? That's what is inside Griffith's mind, I would assume, right? And that is what is interesting. And Casca is hearing this. I couldn't find the words to speak. It is also a very, I mean, the lines that Griffith said right here is pretty much foreshadowing on what is to come, but Casca unable to say things in this situation. Yeah. I'd never seen Griffith like that before. Never so somber. But ever since then, I've started viewing Griffith differently. Then one evening, upon returning to the castle, what are they insinuating here? I mean, this is from Casca's perspective, so we are just viewing things from Casca's perspective, right? So we may have like the wrong context or the wrong understanding of the situation, but it feels like from Casca's perspective, you know, like she is looking at Griffith. Griffith is kind of half naked, and then the dude who has an army of slave children who he plays around at night appears from behind, doing, you know, like. I wouldn't be surprised if the next chapter it was revealed that, yeah, this nobleman died in his sleep. I wonder what happened, man. Hey, you're kidding, right? You mean Mr. Ball of Pride? Come dawn that morning, I couldn't sleep and was wandering along the river near the castle. Now he's fully naked. Wanna join me? Feels nice. Could it also be Casca finally opening up her feelings? Is that what I'm getting at as well? I mean, from Guts' expression and from Guts' reaction, it's pretty much the same as mine, right? Like, really? Griffith with him? But from Casca's, I mean, we know that Casca has feelings for Griffith in a way, right? And now and she is currently seeing Griffith, you know, like naked, half naked. Griffith pretty much inviting her to join in with him. Am I dirty? Why? Why? Were you alone with him before? You're right. My mistake. But last night, a war council or something, so. No. You're not mistaken. Okay. The other emotion then. The emotion of feeling weirded out at the fact that the person that you admired just quote unquote sold his body. Why? Why would you? With someone like him? I shouldn't laugh. I should not laugh. Why? I shouldn't laugh. This is terrible. This is terrible. Why did I laugh? When I read money, just something just appeared on my head. It's like money, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. But an army consumes some. Sorry. An army consumes so much money just being. Men, horses, equipment, provisions, none of it is free. And the band of the Hawk will grow larger and larger, and it has to. For that, we need a vast amount of war funds. In any case, I seem to appeal to that old man. I mean, Griffith does look very feminine, and I was interested in his fortune. Our interests coincided. Yeah, but still, aren't we doing well enough right now? At this rate, if we can keep winning, we'll eventually raise enough. But it would take too long. Besides, with every battle fought, I lose more troops. Griffith, is this because of that boy? No. I thought about it logically. To go to battle 10 times and lose hundreds of soldiers, or to seduce one old man, which is the lesser risk? Casca, listen. I don't feel at all responsible for my comrades who've lost their lives under my command. I guess. Oh. It's because they themselves chose to fight. Griffith? That's just the way I am. But if, for their sakes, for the sake of the dead, if there's something I can do, Griffith, blood? That thing is to win. I'll keep winning to fulfill my dream to which they clung, putting their lives on the line. Griffith, stop it. My dream can only be realized by building upon their corpses. It's a blood-smeared dream after all. Stop. I have neither regret nor remorse about that, but for the hundreds of thousands of lives to hang in the balance and myself alone not to be unclean, what I want won't enter my grasp so easily as that. Now it's the opposite, now it's the other way around. Casca's the one who's trying to comfort Griffith now, right? Wanting to touch him, right? To say that, hey, stop. Stop it, just stop. I am alright. It's nothing. The Griffith who turned around to put his hand on my shoulder, was the same Griffith as ever once more. Just then, that filled me with sadness. Griffith persists in trying to realize a kind of dream that most people abandoned long ago as a childish yearning. Also, I guess I'll mention that, but you know, like the necklace, the ballot, right? Griffith persists in trying to realize a kind of dream that most people abandoned long ago as a childish yearning. But the dream he's chasing is so genuine and extraordinary that the burden must be immeasurable. A strong person. It's simple, just to sum it up with those words. But I think that someone who wants to accomplish something grand endures that much more than other people. It's not that he is strong. Griffith has to make himself strong. I want to be by his side if he's going to sacrifice everything for his dream. If his dream is to fight and cut away his own path, then I want to be his sword. She sees Griffith as the shield. She wants to be the sword. In a way, that makes sense, but in another way, our line of, it's not that he is strong, Griffith has to make himself strong, I feel like maybe you should also think about that. It's not that Casca is strong. Casca has to make herself strong. Which is admirable, right? You see that you admire Griffith for being that. It is admirable. So you should be doing that too, right? That I want to be his sword. And here's the thing, right? This is the part that I mentioned, right? I want this to develop more, as in, I want Casca to stop thinking that she should be his sword. No. You are not his sword. Nobody is. You are Casca. Being his sword is... You can also see that as her devaluing herself as a person, and instead turns herself into, again, an object, if you will. I mean, it is, right? She wants to be his sword. A sword is an object. She wants to be an object that helps Griffith. I don't like that. It also goes to... on one hand, it's the problem is that it is Griffith. That really is the problem. In any other story, right? In any other story, in any other different context, when somebody says something like this, like, I want to be your sword or whatever, like, I would probably say, hell yeah, man, be that, like, do that, like be by his side, be his weapon, or yeah, and stuff like that. But we are dealing with Griffith here, and that is the problem. You know what I mean? Like, that is the biggest culprit. This is the biggest problem right here. Do I want to read the next chapters? No. We'll end it there. We will end the Casca-centric chapters. We're probably gonna... the next couple of chapters will probably be Casca-centric as well. Well, more Casca Guts-centric, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna end this set of chapters right here. It's been fun. It's been great. I've been enjoying this a lot. It's been... yeah. This flashback, this, I guess, a peer into Casca's past. One, disturbing, and two, it also goes to show how much power Griffith has in terms of like sheer charisma alone. Sheer charisma. Everybody is following Griffith because of who he is, because they admire him, because of who he is as a person. So much so that they are willing to abandon their lives, abandon their humanity, abandon their very being in order to keep Griffith alive, right? The young boy who died in battle. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know how he feels. Like, even Griffith was talking about it, and I do love that. I do love the I guess that other side of Griffith where he is also questioning about, like, these people, they died because of me. They died because of following my dreams, to the point where he was hurting himself, right, because of that. And yet Casca comes in and said, no, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I will follow you to the ends of the earth until you die. On one hand, I do believe there is a point in Griffith's life where he was still reeled into reality, but until that sense of power creeps in, where he realizes that, yeah, people love me, like, I'm kind of a god, like, a lot of people respect me for who I am, and they're willing to follow me to the end to achieve my dream. Like, God complex. And it is fascinating to see that develop in him the more we see the past of other people, especially here on Casca's flashback at that. I do love how Guts in this situation is just like chilling, relaxing, and also hearing and learning more and more about not just Casca but also Griffith, right? And ultimately all of these information and all of this, I guess, perspective on these individual people will eventually dictate what Guts will do in the future and how he sees these people, right? So, looking forward to it. This fantastic set of chapters. Some kind of disturbing, some I'm like, oh, very, but it's like very effective at the same time. Like Miura wants me to be disturbed. He succeeded. I was very much disturbed in a lot of these moments. Not sure if showing 12-year-old Casca's body was fully worth it. On one hand, it does elevate the disturbing factor a lot, but I'm more so talking about, like, after the fact, like after Casca killed the noblewoman, killed the nobleman, and talks to Griffith, but you still see, like, her clothing you know, and you still see some nip slips and all that stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. This is a prominent controversial discussion that I've seen a lot in terms of, you know, Berserk, one that I didn't really want to venture in, because for the most part, what I see is people saying like herder, and I don't want to mock those people actually. What I will sometimes see is people feeling like very disturbed, or feel like a lot of these things, a lot of these moments shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't be drawn this way or that way, especially, you know, like the more explicit scenes, especially the ones revolving around women in Berserk and all that stuff. And I usually brush that off. I was like, I mean, at the time I haven't really read Berserk. I've only seen the Golden Age, you know, movies and TV adaptations and such, right? So didn't really, you know, register to me at all what they were really talking about. But seeing, you know, like the Casca stuff in this episode chapters really did kind of open my eye a bit in that regard. I'm still okay with it, because obviously, like, the main point of showing that is to make you feel disturbed and to make you feel bad and to make you feel disgusted, which it works. But if we're talking about, like, morally, you do gotta wonder, like, does it have to, do you have to show that? You know what I mean? Like there are some really explicit moments that I will say the showcase is justified, but there are other ones where I do feel there is that, I don't know about this. I mean, I definitely feel disturbed, and I don't fully mind it, but at the same time, it's like, just feels kind of weird, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed these set of chapters of Berserk. Cannot wait to read more. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you all next time. Take care. Have a nice day. Peace.